What's up, everybody? So today I want to talk about something, very important. We all have flaws in life. We're all good at something and we all may be bad at something. It's just humanity. It's everybody. You know, Truth is nobody knows what's going on in that person's shoes, my shoes, your shoes. But yet we criticize someone, or for example, students that go to school get bullied, get picked on because of a certain way they dress, maybe a certain way that they act, just whatever the scenario might friggin' be. They end up getting bullied, beat up, or just teased, or both, whatever. And I say to myself, put yourself in his or her shoes. I mean, what I'm trying to say is, you're being messed up to this person. Meanwhile, you don't know what he or she deals with on a daily basis. So I say to myself, what's the true benefit in making someone's life miserable? Bad enough life sucks as it is. Why do we got to feed more fire to it? You know what I mean? What we truly need is people to help one another, care for one another, to try to get by in life. But instead, there are people that are, good souls like that, but you have a lot of fucked up people that just don't give a fuck about one another, or they tease one another. And it's just, I say to myself, what joy do you get out of doing that? Like, it makes you feel cool or something. Most of the time a bully picks on someone that's small, you know what I mean? Like, that's not on his own size. He won't pick on someone that's built big or tough or whatever, because he knows he'll get his ass whooped. So he's going to look for, somebody that looks like they can't defend themselves, simple-minded, weak people. And those are the targets. Now, most of the time, bullies themselves were bullied, to the point where now when they maybe bully someone else, it makes them feel better. I don't know how, but I guess because, in other words, like, I used to be a wimp. I used to be picked on. Look at me now. Now I'm a badass. I'm picking on this kid. Yeah. Give me your money, man. Give me your shoes, man. We'll fuck you up after class, man. Like, they just feel cool, whatever the hell. Meanwhile, you're a complete punk, There's nothing cool about that. Like I said, be yourself. People try to pretend there's something they're not, It's like all about impressing others. That's not impressing. That's just downright a lowlife, Because 9 out of 10 of times, bullies, they only pick on weak people. People that they know ain't going to stand up for themselves, ain't going to fight back. They're going to be afraid. That's what they look for. They're going to go after someone that has guts or balls, whatever you want to call it, either or, So, right there, in a way, they're kind of a PUSSY, They just look for the weak people, or simple-minded, or the shy people that maybe can't defend themselves, or, they go after people that have some kind of a disability, whatever it might be, and they just find a way to make fun of someone, tease someone, beat up someone, whatever, belittle someone. Meanwhile, what joy or what benefit? Why is that even a thing? Like, what joy do you get out of it? That's how I look at that as. Like, I just don't see no joy out of that. That's just downright fucked up. What people slack to understand is they don't think to themselves like, man, what if I was in that situation, They just see their life is good. Well, how can I put to this? Let's say someone's born, I'm trying to think of some, like, with one hand, or crooked eye or whatever. They'll make fun of someone like that. Meanwhile, count your blessings. Your eyes are fine. You could see and everything. And, they're not crooked or whatever. But if you were in his shoes and somebody was doing that to you, how would you feel? You're making that person feel terrible. But do you ever imagine, what if you were that person? You know, what if you were that person and then another person's making fun of you? Wouldn't you feel like shit? You know, that's not okay then, right? But it's okay because, hey, I'm not that person with the crooked eye, or I'm not that person that stutters, let's say. So, you know, I don't think of it that way. Always I just think of it, I get joy and laugh out of making this poor person's life miserable. I just love it. I don't think about what if I was in his shoes, you know what I'm saying? And honestly, how I look at it as with bullies and shit, they should get sued. They should get arrested, honestly. It's in my, you know, right and wrong and shit like that, but I find that wrong to the point where there should be action taken. Really, there's really no action that's really taken until it gets to the point where this person might commit suicide. Then that's when action might be, you know, taken, given, whatever. Instead of trying to do it ahead of time to prevent possibly somebody going over the edge from that, you know what I mean? And then today it's friggin' worse than ever because, like I've said, I mean, I'm pretty sure I said this in the past, you know, you back then you get bullied and then you come home, at least you have a little bit, I mean, I wouldn't say you have peace of mind because before you know it, you're right back into that fucking cell again, you know, literally, but at least you're home and, you know, you don't have to, I mean, you're still going to think about it, but at the same time, what I'm trying to say is you're home, you don't got to deal with it for a little bit of time, I guess. But now, with technology and everything, you get some people that are friggin' post things, oh, he's a slut, oh, she's a slut, things like that, you know, if it's a girl, vice versa, you know, hurtful things. So it's like, in today's world, it's nearly impossible to get away from it. Even when you are home, you're still getting cyberbullied, you know? Because people put some fucked up shit on the internet about you, saying things that aren't true, or even if they are true, whatever, you know, and then there you go, you know, then you get other people that pick on you, and then that's where it pushes people over the edge. So right there, I feel like, you know, that should be a crime, and that, you know, person should go to prison or get sued, or both, you know, but, you know, it's unacceptable. They don't think about what if that was me, man, you know, I mean, who cares? I'm not that person. That's the thing. That's the attitude of people. I'm not that person, you know, so I don't care how he or she feels. I just love humiliating him or her, you know, but most of the time people that are bullies basically means that they were bullied. Now, I'm not saying that's always the case, but a lot of times that is. If a person's picking on someone, it's mostly for a reason that maybe something bad happened in his or her childhood, that now the person's just mad at life to the point where the joy comes by picking on someone, making someone else feel bad about themselves, to give that person some kind of comfort, joy, because he or she knows their life is a complete mess, complete fuck up. So they want to pick on someone and make someone else's life just as bad as theirs, so they don't feel alone. They're on the same level, you know, and that I find selfish. My life, let's say, was to that point, I still wouldn't want to pick on someone, you know. I'm just not that type of guy. I like to be nice, you know, but I do like to have standards, if you get what I mean by that. There's a lot of times when people just had enough. You know, a person can only take so much until they snap. For example, I actually used to have a fish. I forgot what kind of fish it was, but it used to pick on this one fish so much. I used to pick on him. The other fish was scared. Every time it seen the bully fish, it used to hide under the, you know, the pebbles, the rocks, whatever you call it, you know. All of a sudden, one day, that fish just snapped and started picking on the bully fish, to the point where my dad at the time, because it was his tank, he had to take the bully fish out and put it in a separate tank because he was getting his ass whooped. He was all picked on. His fin was all fucked up. He barely could swim. He was like going upside down. And, you know, so it just comes to the point where, that's an example, we can only take so much until we just snap. And that fish snapped. And the crazy thing is, that fish snapped on all the other fish too. Them poor other fish had nothing to do with it, but I guess that fish just lost its mind to the point where it started going after any fish at this point. It made him a killing machine, basically. All that bullying that fish did to that fish made it a killing machine. So that's what could happen to people too. And this is why you wonder why you hear mass shootings or, you know, people getting shot. How I look at it as, it's not worth drama. It's not worth it. It's like road rage, for example. It's not worth it. You get people on the road, or you're going too slow and they cut you off, and then they right away got to give you a beat. Like, what are you in a rush to? There's so many people in the lane, they go ahead of me just to slam on their brakes because there's a light right in front of them. So what are you doing really? You're putting wear and tear on your brakes because you're going 60, 80 miles per hour to just slam on your fucking brakes to stop at a fucking light. So it's like, it's all bullshit, man. There's no need to have rage in us. That's the thing, like with a video game. People take a game so fucking seriously. They get mad if they keep failing something. And don't get me wrong, I was like that too. But I'm not to the point where, let's say we're playing an online game, whatever it might be, Call of Duty or whatever, and then somebody dies, I'm not going to be like, you fucking suck, you asshole, you made us lose the game. Like, you get people that literally curse the shit out of you out of this, and to the point really mad and hate you because you literally fucked up on a game or something. It's like, it's crazy how dumb and immature humanity truly is. It's crazy. Me, I was never to that extent, you know? Like that song, Pumped Up Kicks. You better run, 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 you know? That song basically describes a person getting bullied to the point where they just had enough and then they show up with a gun and then, you know? And this is why all this shit goes on. Because all we do to each other is cause chaos. We're rude, we're mean, we're fucked up, we criticize, we make fun of, you know, shit like that. And what's the real, I mean, life itself is hard as it is for every one of us. And yet we make it harder on ourselves because we don't know how to act and behave towards one another. We're like the real animals. You go to a zoo and look at the actual animals, and I say to myself, these aren't the real animals. We're the fucking real animals, man. These poor animals have more common sense possibly than we do. You know? Also, my thoughts on getting revenge and what I think about it. Me personally, I'm not going to lie, when somebody does bad to me, I am that type of person that wants to get revenge, but at the same time, I start to realize and say to myself, you know what? It's not worth it, you know? It's not worth whatever scenario that the person did to you to try to get revenge. Like, let's say, for example, he smashed your car window or whatever, you know, just an example. I'm just making something up, obviously. He smashed your car, you know, it's him or whatever. Now, I mean, you can go sneak to his house one night in a ski mask or whatever and beat the balls out of him or damage his property, but then you're risking yourself getting arrested for some punk that probably already has a bad life as it is, you know? How I look at it as, nature does take care of it a certain way, because how the person is how the person's going to keep being, and one day he's going to fall into the wrong trap from being that way. He's going to, for example, run into the wrong person, you know? But, yeah, I mean, I'd be straightly honest, I am a type that likes revenge, but at the same time, I learned to accept, to just move on. It's not worth it. Why lower your level down for some asshole, you know what I mean? For example, some guy wants to cut me off, let him go. I'm not gonna, well, he ain't getting in this lane, you know what I mean? Because then what is that risk happening? Accidents, car accidents. Or just some psycho asshole pulling out a gun, literally threatening or possibly going to shoot you, all because he wanted to get in this lane, or, I mean, just anything stupid, you know? And I say to myself, it's just not worth the chaos, you know? I mean, it's just, I literally say to myself, I can't believe this is humanity, you know, like how immature we are. It's like, it's a laughing stock, man. It really is. But at the same time, I ain't laughing because I'm trapped with it, you know? But yeah, I mean, however, I do believe in karma, because people bring themselves karma, if that makes sense. And what I'm trying to say by that is, if someone does something bad to you, let's say, and you want revenge to the point where whatever he did bad to you, you want to do something bad to him, he's going to keep being that type of person that's bad. And he's going to fuck with the wrong dude one day that already has nothing to lose. And he's going to get his ass either killed, beat up, whatever. You know? To the point where that's where karma sets in. And then you basically got your revenge the natural nature way. You know what I mean? You got your revenge without actually having to try to put your life at jeopardy to get the revenge, if that makes sense. Then it does. You know? It does. It's like a perfect example. It's like a perfect example. Let's say you're walking, right? And some guy just snatches your phone in a rush. His shoes might be untied. He might slip and fall on his face, maybe chip or break his tooth. There goes the revenge. You don't have to get any revenge. It already took care of it for you. You know, that's just an example. Now, I'm not saying that's basically going to happen, but it's just a little example that's what I'm trying to get as by natural revenge without you actually having to risk your life in any way to get the revenge, you know? But yeah, I mean, me personally, I just wish people weren't so fucking stupid, man. You know, like, I don't know why we truly treat each other like complete shit, you know? We're all human beings. We all have emotions. We all have feelings, and each and every one of us should have those feelings, and we should all understand each other's feelings, you know? But, you know, I mean, there's some person that's born autistic or born whatever condition, let's say dyslexic, and they make fun of, oh, you can't read, you see everything inside out or backwards or whatever. And then, like I said, what if that was you specifically, the person that's making fun of that person? What if that was you like that? You wouldn't like if someone said that to you. It would hurt, wouldn't it? So what gives you the right to do that to that person? It's not like the poor person has a choice. He or she was born that way, you know? And they already feel like crap on top of it with their problems. And then, yeah, you got to get some asshole on top of it that makes things worse. That's the thing with humanity. That's why we're so immature and dumb. I mean, it's ridiculous. A white guy does a crime. Like, for example, what happened with George Floyd. How many years ago was this now? I think 2 or 3 years ago. I don't know exactly. It was quite a while ago. Crazy how time flies. But, you know, for example, what the cop did, which wasn't right, putting his knee on his neck to the point where he couldn't breathe and he ended up eventually dying. Now you'll get some black guy or, you know, just people in general, they'll think any cop's a piece of shit because of that, you know? So automatically, due to what that one jackass did, now all the other cops are considered a piece of shit too. You know, it's like, it's ridiculous. This white guy's racist. Automatically, I'm a piece of shit because I'm white. I'm not racist though, but due to me being white, I'm supposedly known by them that I'm racist, I guess, or whatever. Just because of my skin color, and I end up getting my life taken or beat up or whatever. Meanwhile, it had nothing to do with me specifically. It's that person. You know, it's just, it's so immature, man. I mean, when you really think about it, it's crazy how slow and stupid people's IQs truly are, you know? But anyway, guys, I'm going to wrap it there. Don't want to lose the memory. If I record too much longer, I think I'm going to have to factory reset again soon, unfortunately. Because I start deleting things and it's still going down, but you could see, well, I could see, you know, that it's like, you know, going less and less. Like it's getting harder and harder again. You know, it's like you're deleting shit and it's still barely going down. Then it's going to get to the point where it doesn't go down, period. But, yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope I enlightened some people today. You know, bullying's not right, man. What I say to myself, what joy, what benefit do you really get out of doing that, you know? What if you're in that person's shoes? You wouldn't like it. You know you wouldn't fucking like it. So what gives you the right to be fucked up to that person? You're making him or her feel self-conscious about themselves to the point where it might lead to suicide or self-harm, well, almost the same thing, but and I say to myself, for what reason? Why do you do that to people, It's not right, man. It should be taken seriously. You go to the principal, oh, you get a little suspended for a few days. Should be some friggin' money involved with this. Since money's involved with everything, the parents should get sued, If if their child keeps messing with other people, it should be addressed and there should be action taken. Maybe to give a warning, I could understand. If the person stops, all right. If the person doesn't stop, there should be some fucking consequences, man. That's how I look at it I don't know who could disagree with that. But hey, to each their own. But anyway, yeah, gonna wrap it there. Love you all, guys, and stay blessed as best as possible, even though this ain't a blessing life like they say it is. But anyway, peace out.